long was well, all right, your freshman year. That answers that. But you were on the practice field then. How long was as long as you had been away due to any kind of injury before this?
This has been it. This is the first time that I've had to experience like a true injury. But having the experience I did freshman year, I knew exactly like the roles I could step into on the sidelines, so it definitely made the transition a lot easier.
Did you know immediately? Like, was the foul ball like as such that like you just instantly knew something that's not good?
Yeah, at first I kind of brushed it off, but trying to throw the ball back to McKenna, I thought maybe I dislocated something, so they actually reviewed a play, and that's when I called the trainer out. I stayed in, though, for like 2 more batters.
I was going to say, because, I mean, it's going to sound weird, but like this happens all the time for catchers, so this really is like, quote-unquote, normal, even though it's not normal for anybody else. So what made it? Was it just the such that like you just couldn't grip it? Was it painless?
Yeah, I just couldn't get like the left or the right side of my hand on top of the ball, and there's runners on, so I didn't want to sail the ball.
Well, yeah. Is it pinky and ring finger then, or the hand itself, or which?
It's the hand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Broken or fractured or just whatever?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Well, it's up to you. It's up to you. So what is the recovery process for that like? Because I mean, you have to use it all day. It's like the same thing with hand and feet. Like you can't not use it. So
yeah.
What was that like?
Throughout the course of the 6 weeks, I've been catching. I haven't been throwing. And last week was actually the first time I hit. So going into the game, those were basically my first live at-bats since the injury. So
it's the first time you picked up a bat BP before the game?
No, I was able to hit off of our pitchers the day before we left, and that was the first time I'd hit a real ball.
What was it like getting that confidence back then? Because like any ping, any weird, vibration through a bat, I'm sure it probably feels a little funky when you're building hand strength back up.
Yeah, our trainer Justin has done a great job finding different gadgets for me. I wear a protector on my batting glove, and when I do get jammed, I just have to take a second to realize, okay, the pain hurts where it's supposed to hurt, not where it's not supposed to hurt. So it really doesn't affect it too bad.
When you were calling pitches, particularly against the Cal series, when Coach was out, I'm sure you'd done something like that before for sure and in earlier games, but you feel like you're almost like auditioning for a coach role in the future? And I mean it seriously. Like, I mean, I realize you still got like another year. Technically, you could go 2, which is nuts, but did you really, that's something that would actually interest you down the road?
Yeah, like I said, freshman year sitting out, Coach Lombardi always had me right with her, and I think as a leader, like I've been more of a coach role, and she definitely always tells me I'm going to be a coach. I haven't decided yet, but it's definitely an option in the future. I had a blast calling pitches, and it was really cool to see the pitchers respond in such a positive way.
In terms of that role on the team that you served when you were out, what was that in the dugout for the players?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm always going to be everybody's biggest cheerleader, so I was definitely probably one of the loudest on the bench, and we have all different kinds of charts and stuff we do in the dugout, so I was the first person to, write on the chart, first hype man. It was a lot of fun, like, seeing it from the other perspective, but definitely glad to be back.
To go back to that final out against Cal, then, when Jordan comes in, surely you guys know the splits. Did you know their pinch hitter was 0 for against lefties?
I did.
Okay. So then how did that impact how you went about calling pitches for Jordan in that spell?
I just think Jordan had a different feel to her, and she was very confident in what she was going to do, and I was confident that anything I called, she was going to execute, and changeup's her favorite pitch, so I was really happy for her when she nailed it.
For this weekend, does this still matter? Is there, or because the 3 who were most responsible for being gone, is it just whatever now?
I think any team in the pack is any team in the pack. We're going to treat this weekend like any other weekend and just move on from there.
Offensively, what do you see from their pitchers? What makes them a challenge?
I honestly haven't, I faced Royalty last year. She definitely does a good job keeping the ball inside and then keeping you off time. I just think timing is going to be a huge aspect. I'm sure they flip a lot of change-ups in there, but it's nothing we haven't seen before, and Coach Martyr is definitely going to have us prepared. And
you're always playing really potent lineups. UCLA was as well, but these guys might be the most in the league, certainly in home runs and general balance of their lineup. What's that going to be like, do you think, to call pitchers for and catch for and then manage Stevie and McKenna and Jordan through this weekend?
I think you got a glimpse of Stevie this weekend. Stevie's a baller. She doesn't need anyone to hold her hand, and I think she's going to do the same thing this weekend, and McKenna and Jordan are on the right track. I think our defense is solid, and we just have to play our game, and if we do that, all the cylinders will align.
From the catcher's, the last thing I have for you, Terra, from the catcher's perspective in particular, and as a teammate, it's understood when you lose somebody like Brooke, that can deflate people. Naturally. It should. She's an All-American. Like, you can feel really confident with her. What does having a freshman go out there and strike out Maya Brady at UCLA do to the room, to the clubhouse, to where you're going, yeah, this freshman can do up against the best in the country? And, all right, yeah, she may get gout every once in a while, but, like, you are building towards something so that when May arrives, you guys are feeling just as confident with her as you were with Brooke.
Yeah, I think Brooke's done an amazing job being a sideline coach as well, really taking Stevie, McKenna, Jordan, Reagan, Allison all under her wing. And that part of Stevie is just something she's always had, so I don't think it's really surprised us, and we have all the confidence in the world in her and the rest of them. And I think having her come out and do that really put confidence throughout the rest of the pitching staff as well.
I just got one more for you. That hit against UCLA, was that a monkey off your back to just get that one?
Yeah, it definitely was. I was kind of waiting for my opportunity. I missed a few balls early in the game, so it definitely gave me a second to take a deep breath.
That's why actually on Jazz, because when you had to sit out a year, you were around. Painful, but you had to be around. She didn't. So what was that like, having her back, getting her back in this way? What does that mean as a teammate?
I have been around Jazz my entire life. We grew up together, we roomed together, and we were the first people she told that she was coming back, and we were all so excited for her. And I just think the role that she has taken on as a mother and an athlete is incredible. And having her back in the lineup, just somebody who's seasoned in the pack, I think has made a huge difference. And you saw that against UCLA. She did not seem phased at all, and it's just really nice to have her back.